Hello and welcome to another Coffee Conversations and Q&A.
Yes, welcome. How you doing?
We're happy to have you here. We've got some coffee that's almost
ready to go?
He's got his frother that's going, so we're going to have some
it's time to froth.
fresh foam froth. That's the best part. I could just drink that and forget the coffee part.
She used to. Now the kids want it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's so good. But we're happy to have you here today. We've got lots of great questions lined up. But in the meantime, we'll do a little conversation. So cheers to coffee, no matter where you are. Whether you got some coffee or tea, sit down and have a sip and let's talk. So, oh, wow. That's the milk mustache you got going on there.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're joining us today live, because we do these live every week, welcome.
Every week.
We're excited to see you. And if not, we always have the playback available on podcast and YouTube and things as well. So,
check us out.
Whether you catch us live or not, we are happy that you're here and listening.
Yes, and hoping you're having an awesome and fabulous day.
Yep, we're at middle of the week, and so how are things going? Are you heading into the weekend strong? Where are you at? So,
you're taking a trip. We're taking a trip.
Yeah, we've got some stuff coming up this weekend.
Yes, a little fun.
Yeah, our son, he is in the state archery tournament this weekend, so we are going to go out of town for that. It's going to be a family affair, so we're all going to go for a little weekend getaway. He's excited.
It's been a while.
Yeah, he's excited to be in that, and we're excited to see him. He's put a lot of
root him on.
Yeah, he's put a lot of hard work in this season, and he's excited to go to state. So we're onward for that, and then lots of plans for spring break and stuff coming up. It hasn't really felt like spring outside.
No, last week we had a T-shirt. Not this week.
Last week was T-shirt weather. This week was
in the 20s.
Arctic weather.
Yes, and we were doing our walking and
bundle. You didn't want any surfaces to be out because they froze.
No.
So, but it's starting to warm up a little bit again.
Yes, thank you so much for that.
We've got another cold front coming in after that. So it's kind of like that.
Oh, another one coming?
Yeah, it's coming. Another, it's spring. You never know what you're going to get. So it's
especially here.
Unpredictable weather that comes. It might be warm one day, might be cold another day, might be raining, might be snowing.
You never know.
You never know.
We have our jackets.
Do you need a snow shovel or an umbrella? Which one do you need?
Take them both.
Coats or flip-flops. So that's where we're at. But
flip-flop lady.
That's right. Tell us what's going on in your world, where you're at, where what's the weather like? What do you guys have planned for spring?
Spring. Yes.
We just changed the clocks a few days ago, so that's always a fun time. Our little one, he knows time and all that, so he keeps reminding us that it used to be this time, but now it's this time.
Yes, he's really good with that.
These few mornings of getting up, it's been a little harder for the kiddos to get up this week, but we're starting to cruise past that. So
I want to say hi.
Yeah,
somebody's
hello.
waving.
Yeah, hi. So let's jump into we only have so much time to do this. Plus, we want to prioritize your time as well. Today is a content shooting day for us, so we
keep it going.
We batch a lot of content. We come on here live and talk to you guys and do our Q&A and other things as well. So let's jump right in.
Okay, how many emails should I send out after the purchase of an event ticket?
That really depends. It depends on how far out is your event, right? So if you're if you're starting your signups for your event and maybe you're 6 months out, you want to stay in touch and in contact with them so they don't just get, like, I signed up and they get nothing until, the event. You want to keep dripping on them. You want to, give them, to remind them that you're still there, you're looking forward to seeing them. Maybe there's some things that they can do ahead of time.
Right, where to go.
From the event, maybe there's some homework things that they can be working on. So when they come to the event, they're ready to go. So it really depends on what your event is, but you want to continually, you don't want to be hitting their inbox, all the time. Or
you want the opposite of they don't hear from you at all.
Yeah, and they're the ones reaching out to you. You don't want that. You want a good experience, and emails. Another great way of contacting people is, sending them a text message, picking up the phone and calling them. Not just
especially before the event to make sure they're even coming.
To remind them of anything that they might need, that you want to, let them know you're looking forward to seeing them. Anything like that. So multiple emails, depending on how far out your event is. If it's 6 months, at least every couple of weeks, be checking in with them, touching base,
Right.
maybe giving them
At least once a month.
some topics.
If there's 6 months.
Every
ahead
couple of weeks
time.
would be good, though.
Yeah.
If you can have an email sequence put together for that, even if it's 6 months out, that's like 12 emails. You got your initial welcome, thanks so much for signing up, and then you
Yes.
kind of drip on them throughout. And then when it gets closer to the event, maybe even put them a little bit closer together to make
Right.
sure that they, have they booked their hotel? Do they know how
Right.
they're getting there?
Ask
Do they,
about a guest
do
if
they
they're
know
bringing a guest.
the room that it's going to, all those kind of things. And then any details or frequently asked questions, include those in there as well. And then a couple text messages throughout, picking up the phone and talking a few times. All those things are good ways of staying in contact
Yes.
and communication and setting up that experience
And not
on the
selling.
front end.
And not selling.
Yeah, well, you could.
You could, but before they come to the event, you're not going to say, hey, buy this.
You could. You actually could. You
Really?
could do an upsell. Maybe you have a VIP
I'm not talking about
package.
upsell. Yeah, I was just talking about
Yeah.
sell something else.
No, you
Yeah.
don't have to sell anything else. But maybe there's a
VIP seating.
a VIP seating that you want to. Maybe they didn't sign up for that.
You can come into the event early.
Yep. So there's different ways that you can touch base with them. Yeah, you definitely need to resell them again on something else, unless it's a value add for what they're already doing,
Right.
and coincides with that. So definitely touch
Yep.
base.
Next question. Could I have a themed cocktail party?
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
those are fun.
Yes. Bring in the clothes, do it all up.
I mean, I love themes. So the more that you theme,
Yes.
whether it's a cocktail party, I mean, you could have a whole event theme, right? And then you could have your cocktail hour that is a even more specific
Right, like
theme.
the 60s theme, the
Yeah,
flapper.
You could
scene.
have people that are, maybe you want to do like a black and white or a black
black
tie,
tie,
or
yes.
like you're saying, like the 1920s for the flapper. Maybe you want to just have fun and be like, hey, let's do a Hawaiian theme. It's
Yes.
summertime. You could do that. Maybe you want.
Country theme.
There's all kinds of
Bring
themes
my cowboy boots.
that you can think of, and then you can let people know ahead. That's something else that could be in that email we were talking about, right? Hey, we have a themed evening. It's going to be a cocktail, or it's going to be a dinner, whatever
Yes.
it might be.
Get there early so
Make
you can
sure
change.
that we're gonna give a prize away for best dressed, maybe best theme, and so you have people like start getting involved. It's something fun to do instead of just, hey, we're gonna have a cocktail. It could be themed. You could have prizes for people who are best dressed, maybe wackiest, silliest, funniest, most
Yes.
thought provoking. It could be something that everyone votes on, so everyone's kind of putting who was the best. There's so many
Award
things
shows.
that you can do, but anytime you have a theme, and then you can let your attendees know, they will go out and get outfits. They will
Yes.
bring it with them. They'll bring a whole other suitcase.
Have a ball.
If they need to put that stuff in. Think about like cruises, right? When someone goes on a cruise, the cruise also know, hey, we're gonna have a black tie night this
Yep.
night. We're
Ahead
gonna
of
have a
time,
themed
yes.
night, and this is the theme, so make sure you bring something for that. Same thing for your event. People will pack for the theme. Same thing if you're having some kind of event, and maybe you're going to have an excursion or something like that. Make sure you let them know too, hey, bring some shoes, some good walking shoes.
Change
See,
of clothes.
This is all stuff that goes back to what can you have in your emails, things like this. But also, definitely having a themed cocktail, a themed evening, a theme is great. And then
Yep.
really you can run with the theme. So have fun with the theme. And then each time you have the event, you could choose a different theme for that too. And then take lots of pictures. That's something people love, and they'll
Yes.
share, and so there's tons that
Right,
you can
step
do.
and repeat wall to make
Yeah.
sure you get those pics and video in. So
And
you can
just-
use them later.
And, if you have people taking video, photos, it's great for you to be able to then showcase the fun that you have at your event too. It can be a
Yes,
serious
even during.
topic. and
Yeah, you
can
could even
still
be
have fun.
live, like we are now.
Yeah, so that's great. Next question. We are selling a product for $250. Is that too low for an event sale? Yes.
Yes.
That is...
Say it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to, and this is our major pet peeve that we have with most people when they have their events, and they're like, well, I sell something. That's okay. What do you sell? And what is the
50,
price point?
50.
Most
bucks.
people's price points are under $500. And a greater percentage of that is under $250. And the reason behind that, they're just like, well, that's what I think I can sell. I don't think it, and it's like, you've got to start switching your mindset
And
on
say you're worth it. You're
not
worth
only
it.
are you worth it, but people want more of you. They have come to your event to learn from you. They
Yes.
are not going to learn everything they need from you from a 2, a 3, a 1, however many days your event is. There's more to learn.
Yes.
There's more of a journey and a continuation. And when you, 1, don't sell, or 2, you sell something of such small value, and that's what I perceive. When you say it's $250, to me that means the value of it
Is very
is
low.
very small, right?
Yes.
So you might say, well, it's the best thing I ever had. It's great. It's got tons of value. If it has tons of value,
Yeah.
then charge
Those
more
two don't
for it.
go together.
Right? So, and if you're like, well, I don't think I can charge more than that, then you need to
No.
add more value so that you can
Right.
charge. Money is a value exchange, right? People
Correct.
are willing to invest and pay for something when they see the perceived value of what they're going to be
Yes.
getting is bigger than what the money that they're exchanging for it. So you have to then know the value that you're providing is worth more than the money or the value that they're exchanging for that
Correct.
thing. And you can totally change your event by changing what you charge. 1, to get to your event, the ticket price, and 2, what you charge for whatever it is that you're selling at your event. And if you're not selling something, you need to. Doesn't mean it needs to be a pitch-a-thon, doesn't mean that
Yes.
every person that comes on there needs to speak, but if you're giving value away for 80 to 90% of your
Yep.
event, you can spend that 10 to 15% of time to sell them into the next step, the next
Right.
thing, the
And
continuation
it's also
on
the
their
mindset
journey.
also.
Yeah. And so $250, I don't care what it is too little.
Unless it's a bracelet.
Well, I mean, have a nicer bracelet. You know what I mean? So there's Claire's and there's Cartier. So think about, what are you, right? Where is your value? Where do you perceive yourself? And if you're down here, we need to bump it up. And don't have the mindset people aren't going to pay for that. If they're not going to pay for
No,
that,
drop that
that's your
right off the
roadblock
bat.
and your challenge. You need to change that mindset that you have, but you need to charge more. And
Yes,
in order
a
to
lot more.
charge more, you have to give more value.
Yep.
So structure your offer, put together your thing so that you are giving more value in exchange for what you're asking in return.
Yes. What are good housekeeping rules to go over at the beginning of event? Yes.
There's several.
There's a lot. The phone is a big one.
So, okay, so housekeeping for us means like at the beginning of the event, someone's going to come up on stage, the MC or someone to introduce the
Yep.
first speaker. Housekeeping means these are the things that you're
They're going
going
to
to,
go over first
For the
before
event.
anything gets started.
yeah, so what are those?
Yes. Phones. No videotaping or recording devices. No eating, maybe eating at the table meals. What else? Where the bathrooms are.
Letting them know the things that, hey, let's be conscientious of everyone that's around us. Let's turn off our phones or
Yes.
silence it. If you're expecting an important call, put
Then
it
you
on
can leave the
vibrate
room.
and
Yes.
answer that once you're out of the room. It's a distraction, right? Also, let them know we are going to be taking breaks every so often so that you'll be
Yep.
able to go to the bathroom.
And how
you'll be
long
able
the
to
break is.
get refreshed. We're going to have lunch.
Yep, a 15-minute break.
Other thing is, when we go to break and we say we're having a break for 10 or 15 minutes, we start promptly back on time.
Yes,
So if
get
you're-
back in your seat.
If you're not back in your seat, we're not waiting for you. We're going to continue on
Yes.
with the event. Letting them know, those types of things ahead of time. What are the expectations? So basically, housekeeping expectations and things you want them to know. The
And
bathrooms.
what time you're ending.
About,
Not exact.
approximately.
Because they'll keep you to it. You say it's 7.
Yeah.
Don't go past it.
Yeah. So the main thing is the conscientious, courteous things, the phones,
Recording.
the recording. Hey, another thing is, if people have laptops and things and you don't have an event, a room set up where people can plug in directly to the tables, let's not take extension cords and drag them across the
it's
room,
happened
make
all the
tripping
time.
hazards. Just this things that, shouldn't need to be said, but they need to be said, right?
Yeah,
So
they unplugged your video camera and everything.
Or,
it happens.
they have their thing that they brought and it's completely across the aisle and people are tripping over it. All kinds of things like that. It's just setting up the general rules for the event. That's
Yeah.
why, the same thing with like the recording or video or audio recording. That's not something that we're doing. Little
right,
things like
because you
that.
can let them know the event is being recorded anyway, and it might be in a later offer or might be free later.
Yeah. No, however you're putting that. But
Right.
again, it's just no recording, video or audio.
Yes.
Phones, distractions, tripping hazards.
And wear your lanyard.
Yeah, that's your ticket in. If you don't have your lanyard on, you're not
Yeah,
going to
they
be
don't
allowed into the event.
You can just come in and sit down.
So
and
make sure you keep that
listen.
on you.
Yes.
And be conscientious and courteous to the other people that are around you. Eliminate a lot of distractions and stuff that's going on.
Yes.
That's the main thing it sets the tone for the event, it sets the ground rules, so everyone's on the same page and everyone knows, hey, this has been spoken to everybody, so everyone knows this is what everyone knows. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of keeping everyone on the same page.
Last question. What would you do to make a registration better?
You got to take registration from ho-hum, which most registrations are. It's kind of like
Hum, everybody get in line.
and it's very, you know, like you're going to the dentist and getting your teeth drilled.
Or a
it's
funeral.
it's just very sad, right? It's
Yes.
very monotone. Music out there going is great.
fine.
Having people,
Not a party.
No, but music.
Yes.
It sets the tone. Having people greeting people. Having people let them know what line should they be going. Are you
Right.
VIP?
VIP is over there.
Are you doing it, you know, certain names of the alphabet are over here versus over here?
Right. Smiling.
Yeah. Welcoming them. This is the tone, right? We're setting an
Shaking hands,
experience.
high-fiving.
You know, any questions that they have, getting them excited about what's to come.
Let them know what time the doors open,
Yep.
because they'll ask that question.
You're there to get them registered, yes. Are you doing some sort of welcome gift or something that you're
Yes.
giving to them? You want to let them know. Make sure
That should happen
if there's
more.
a different station for that. A lot of people you want to create. That's where you start creating the atmosphere and the environment for the event. That's
Yes.
another place where you could have some lights up outside so people can start taking pictures.
Step and repeat
You
wall.
want people meeting and mingling, and you want to say, hey, you know what? Doors open at 5 till 9 or whatever time that is. Go ahead and meet and mingle. We've got coffee and tea over here,
Yes.
and go ahead and meet and mingle with everybody, and then we will open the doors then.
Yes.
You know, here you go. Like it's letting them know. You don't want them, well, what time? I'm going to stand and hover by the door because I want to be able to.
No.
It's like, no, like, hey, we're going to open it this time. Feel free to get in
Right.
line or not. If you're a VIP, you don't have to worry about that most of the time because the seating's already reserved. That
Yes.
is a bonus of being a VIP. So all of these kinds of things come into play. But again, registration is the kickoff to your event.
Right. Then they want to look forward to what's inside.
Yeah, what's going to happen? What's going to go on in there? Like, and that's the mystery of it, but it's also the building of excitement, right?
Yes.
And so if they come and there's nobody there to check them in, you
Right.
told them to be there at a certain time, no one's there.
They're knocking on the door to have somebody come out so
No
they can
one
get
knows
registered.
what's going on. The registration isn't set up. No one has name tags ready to go. The computer software that you're using to check people in isn't working. You don't have any welcome gifts, and it's kind of just like a womp 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 womp, right? That's not how you want it to go. So
Right.
think about
they're
that.
not dressed at all. They're in normal street clothes.
Right, you want everyone on your team to. You want to be able to point out that person's on the part of this event, and so is that person.
Yes.
Because there's a cohesion of how the
mannerisms,
look
too.
is. So those are all things to think about, and it always comes back to what we talk about. An event is an experience, right?
Yes.
So what experience are you creating from that beginning email all the way through the sequence, from when they come to registration, all the way through the event, and then once they leave.
They're still hearing from you.
What are they getting? What is the expectation? What is the experience that you want them to create? And so anytime you're putting together your event, that's what you're thinking of. What is the experience? What do we want them saying? What do we want them thinking? How do we want them reacting
Yes.
to our event? Because you want them to come back. You want them to tell
Again
somebody
and
else.
again.
You want them to, go to your next event.
Word
or
of mouth.
come back to that event annually. And these are all ways of being able to do that. And the most important thing is just, what would you want if you're coming to someone's event, right? Or what
Yes.
events have you been to? You're like, that wasn't very good, right?
I'm gonna leave at noon.
That was sad, right? I mean, we've been to some of those. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, this is an event versus like, wow, that knocked my sock
Yes,
off. Like,
yes.
when's their next one, right?
Yes.
That's what you want. You want what wows you, what excites you, what do you want to tell the people about, and start creating your events with an experience in mind,
Right.
so that your attendees want to do the same thing for
Because
you.
events can be fun also.
They should be.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. I mean, even if it's like a CPA event, it's very cut and dry, but you can still make it exciting. You can still
Yes.
make it something that
Entertaining.
is an experience for them. Same thing with like doctors and lawyers, and
Right.
I mean, it doesn't
It's
have
the
to
dentist. It's the dentists that they need a little help to push them up to have fun.
be. Is it just the dentist?
That's most that I've met, yes.
Yeah, most of the. But you know what? The funny thing is, once you get them out of their shell, there's actually some fun to be had in there. So
Yes.
it's like they got to just get them out of their shell. Wow them. Give them that experience, and they'll start really coming around. And then you want them to start looking forward to the next event. Like,
Yes.
when you have continuing education classes, or you have, informational classes, workshops, events, these are all things, and they're like, well, I want to go to that one, because then that was the
fun.
best one of the year. Great.
Okay.
They come back to the next one, right? So
Yes.
that's when we're talking about the experience. No matter what your industry is, no matter what your topic is, you can still create an experience. You can still create
can.
an impact, and you can still make it something memorable that they want to come
Yes.
back to again and again and again.
An instant impact.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what we talk about. We're instant impact because it only takes an instant to make an impact. But then from
Correct.
that instant impact, you want to create a lasting impact, right? But you do that in an instant.
Yes.
Right? It's like, boom, was that a good first impression? Okay, great.
Yes.
How was the event? It's like these instant things that you're doing, that you're communicating, that you're putting out there, that's what sets you apart from everybody else. And that's why we say it only takes an instant to make an impact, because it does. Now,
Yes.
what are you doing continually from there
To create that again.
continue to create those instant impacts to make
Yes.
that difference in that experience?
Yes. So thank you so much for being here.
Yep, thank you so much for joining us today on another Q&A call that we like to call.
Coffee.
We've got some coffee. I need to
Yeah.
stop
Coffee and
talking
conversation.
and drink a little bit more. If you have questions, definitely send them our way, and we will get those answered for you on one of our upcoming Q&A episodes that we
Yes.
have. And in the meantime, remember, it only takes an instant to make an impact, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.